All right, so I got something kind of cool here today. I've showed earlier in another video an unboxing of one of the new Player Series Strats, the Adorama deal. They're blowing those guitars out for $519. Or maybe they're not blowing them out. Maybe they're going to be available like that forever. They've had them on sale for quite a while. They must have a lot of them. What I got here in this cool Sonic Blue Fender case, which did not come with the guitar, is one of the Adorama Lake Placid Blue Telecasters. Did I say Sonic Blue on the Strat? It's Lake Placid Blue. I have one of those here in the room that I just got, and it's really a great guitar. For the money, it's surprisingly good. Even without, for not the money, it's just a great guitar. But this is the Telecaster, the Lake Placid Blue Telecaster that Adorama is selling for $519 in this cool Sonic Blue Fender case, which it did not come with. This is my brother's guitar. He just got this week. He pulled it out of the Adorama box. He ordered this case for it because he liked the case. And I have not seen the guitar yet, so he dropped it off, and I actually opened the door. It was just in the driveway, so I brought it in, and I have it here, and he has not done anything to the guitar except maybe tune it, so it's just like it came out of the box. So this is sort of a quasi-unboxing, and I'm going to give you some impressions of this guitar, the Tele. Anyway, I'm going to open this now in this case. Yeah, it's nice. Looks good. So imagine this just came out of the box, right? So here it is. This is the first time I'm seeing it. And I can tell you it's about medium weight just from picking it up. I don't think it's 8 pounds. I'll weigh it in a second though. I've got a scale here that's accurate. Yeah, so my initial impressions are a little bit of lint on it from the case that wouldn't come if you bought one of these that came in the Adorama box. They come in a cardboard box, in a Fender box inside of an Adorama box wrapped in like a white styrofoam. So yeah, let's see. So it looks good. Just the initial inspection. And I'm just looking to see if things are lined up right now. The strings are lining up across the pole pieces. I like to see that. I like to see the G and the D strings lining up straight across the dots in the neck so they're centered. You know, there's no real gaps in the neck pocket. Everything looks tight. The pick guard around the control plate looks good. So everything looks straight. The strings are centered in the nut. I can see that. The string tree is crooked. Does that show? Right, see that? Yeah, it was on the Strat too, actually. That's a pretty... There's no other guide pin or anything in there. You can literally grab these things and just turn them a little bit, right, to straighten it out. Yeah, so that looks a little bit better. You know, it's funny, on the tip of the headstock here, the Strat Open had some buffing compound on it too, and so does this one. I can feel it, where they didn't buff all the compound off of it. Kind of wipe it clean. They didn't hit this area with the buffer, it feels like. So yeah, it's beautiful. It's a nice color. So Lake Placid Blue, this is not a standard Player Series color. This is a special run. And this is a 21 model. This has got a 2021 serial number on it. It has a little Fender 75 sticker on the back. Or actually, it's part of the silk screen, I think. It's all part of the same thing. These are actually supposed to have a Fender special run. I think that's what it is. A little sticker on the back of the headstock somewhere. And it's not on the Strat either. Other 21 models did get it. You can call Fender, and apparently they will send you one of those. That really is just a sticker that sticks on the headstock. For some reason, they either ran out or they missed some of these. But these really should have the sticker on them. Not a big deal, but you know, if you're obsessive compulsive, it may be something that you'd like to have. I see a few of his fingerprints on here, not too bad. Looks he has a dog. It looks like the dog may have licked it. This looks like there's a seam right down the center of the body. This could be a two-piece body. You can see it in the light. I'm not seeing a third seam. I see the one right down the middle. I think that's what it is. Could be a two-piece body, probably not. So anyway, yeah, let's, so he did sort of tune it. Probably went out of tune coming over here. Let's weigh it first. I'm always curious. Weight is such a big deal to everybody, including me. I don't like real heavy guitars. Really, anything under 8 pounds is okay with me, though. They don't have to be super light. I'm really a bass player, so 8-pound bass, Fender bass, is light, very light. So I'm going to put my little Ernie ball polishing cloth across the scale here to make sure I don't scratch the finish. And then I'm going to zero it out to compensate for the weight of the cloth. And let's see what this weighs. Okay, so it is 7 pounds, 8 ounces. So this is not a heavy guitar at all. 7 pounds, 8 ounces. I would say that is a good weight for a Telecaster. Just check that again to make sure. I'm sorry. I had it caught on the camera leg here. This is actually 7 pounds, 14 ounces. So that's about what it felt like when I picked it up. So still not a bad weight. I think anything under 8 pounds is good. I don't think anybody would have any complaints with this. I wouldn't. So let's tune it up real quick and just check the action and neck relief and those things. And I'm using my TC Electronics Unitune, not the fancy one. Not the fancy one that does all the strings at once. This is tuned pretty flat. Maybe he didn't tune this up. It's possible he didn't. He's been working all week. And he just got a new pedal too, an HX Stomp, which he's more interested in than this guitar, I think. I kind of talked him into buying this because it was a good deal and he doesn't have a Telecaster. These are so much easier to tune than the Strats with the floating tremolos. I really like Telecasters. They just feel more solid. Sounds great. So let's see, my initial impression, let's just check the relief in the neck. So I'm going to use a little trick here. You can use a capo on the first fret because you want to make a straight edge out of the string. I'm going to fake it with these two Fender picks. You don't have to use Fender picks. You could use another kind. But it's a Fender guitar. And I'm going to use if I can pick it up here. This is a 8 thousandths feeler gauge here. I'm going to check this at the 8th fret. And we'll just see how close this is. Because that would be pretty close to the Fender spec on this. Yeah, this is maybe just a shade more. Maybe 10 thousandths. So it's not bad at all. That would be well within specification there. Oh yeah, beautiful. Yeah, it's great. Let's check the action out of the box. Again, this is how this thing came set up. If somebody who bought one of these, let's say somebody that doesn't set their guitars up, or maybe somebody that's new to guitar, didn't know how to work on them, you know, what are you going to get out of the box with this if you tune it? So this is 4 64ths on the E string, 4 on the A, 4 on the D, 4 on the G, maybe just a shade over 4 on the B, and 4 on the E. So that's dead on. I think the Fender factory spec is 4 64ths. They do the 17th fret, but I always measure the 12, and it's not really that much different. I don't remember what the pickup spec is on these. They look okay just visually. They don't look too low or too high. Yeah, that's great. I mean, you could take this right out of the box and play it. So let's see, fret ends. Fret ends feel really, really good. No issues at all. You know, you don't feel the tangs. You know, look, you could take a file, you could take, and you could dress these fret ends a little bit. But I don't think, if you weren't looking for this and paying attention to it, I don't think you'd notice anything about these frets. They're just in there and they're fine. Where I live, it's 100% humidity most of the time. Really, we get about 70 inches of rain a year, so sprout is not normally an issue here. That's going to be an issue to drier climates for people, where the wood starts to shrink and the frets stick out here. And these came in from New Jersey or New York, wherever Adorama is. I'm going to assume they have less humidity than us. Yeah, this is cool. So let me just let's say something about the tuners too. These are the tuners that come on these. They look just like the ones that come on the American Fenders. And they may or may not be. I think the Fender ones are made by Ping, not the golf company with my Titleist hat. First time I saw it, I thought it was the golf company. I'm a big Ping homer. I love Ping. My first good set of clubs were Pings, and they're a good company. Still family owned. Never went corporate, or never went public, I should say. They're a corporation. But you call them, they answer the phone. They're a good company. But no, different Ping company. This is a overseas company. But I have a set of the Ping tuners on the Telecaster. I've got an American Professional that has the locking tuners on it, which are also Pings, and those are fine. These are not the smoothest tuners I've ever felt. I've been playing with them on the Strat that I just got. They're fine. They tune the guitar. They're going to hold it tuned. They're not going to slip. You're going to have an issue with that, and I wouldn't change them. They're serviceable. From an aesthetic standpoint, I prefer the vintage tuners. I just like the way they look with the smaller butterbean style tuner heads, and then I like the little press-in or stick-in ends on the ends of the post ends of the tuners. I just think it looks nicer, and it's more like the way you would string up a bass guitar, which I'm comfortable with. But yeah, let's turn it on and see how it sounds. Plug it into this amp. And you can find, I'm not going to be able to turn this up, and this is not going to be a great audio demo, and I'm really not a great guitar player. And you can find videos all over YouTube of people playing these, but let's just, good videos, clear videos. Let's just make sure this works though. Gotta let the tubes warm up. This is a 64 Princeton, one of the new ones, not an old one. But it sounds great. Yeah. Good balance on the pickups. The tone knob has got a little, almost like a little kink in it. It's not, I turn it down to, let's say from the 10 position to about 8, I can feel it catch. I don't know if that's on the pick guard, or I'm sorry, the control plate. It may be. The knob's just set too far down on the control plate. The volume's fine. So I'll sort that out. I'm actually going to set this up with 10s for him, and I'll check that then. I think it's just set too far down on the shaft. It needs to be picked up just a little bit, and then the set screw retightened. Yeah, it's a telly. Let's try a thumb pick. See how it sounds. Yeah, it's great. And of course you get the nice warm tones. I always, on a good telly, and these are new pickups for the Player Series. I'm sure people know. For years, the made in Mexico Fenders used a ceramic pickup, which are a little bit hotter, and they just don't sound like Fender pickups. But these are actually Alnico pickups. I think Alnico 5s, and they sound really nice. But I always thought a telly neck pickup, to me, sounds as good as a Strat neck pickup, a good one. It's actually a little bit hotter too. The telly pickups are hotter usually. So yeah, bridge looks good. It's got this flat plate bridge on it. It doesn't have the little ashtray raised lips, which is cool. The ashtray visually looks more traditional, but mainly this has a telly style bridge on it, so you have the larger telly pickup with the base plate on the bottom of it. That's the thing to give. The telly tone bridge pickup is so much fatter than like a Strat pickup or a standard single coil. And it's just the whole combination of the bridge and the pickup style and all of it. So it's doing that. Visually, again, I prefer like the way that the American professionals are doing now, and then of course the originals and the reissues and the old ones with the 3 saddle bridge. But from a functional standpoint, from an intonation standpoint, this is better. And actually, let's see how close the intonation is out of the box. This is not the most accurate tuner I've got. I've got a Sonic Research tuner that's better, and I use that for setting intonation. But let's just see if we're close with this. So maybe just a little sharp. So the fretted note's a little sharp to the harmonic. I'll just do both the E strings. We'll do all 6 strings. Okay, this is pretty sharp on the E string. So it's not a problem. I think there's plenty of room to pull the saddles back on these strings that are a little bit sharp. And it's going to change anyway too, because I'm going to set this up with a little bit higher action too. I like 5/64 on the low strings and 4/64 on the high. And then with 10s, it's going to change all this. But yeah, this is pretty sharp. You can probably hear that. But not a big deal. I mean, it's close. Look, you know, somebody could take one of these and pull it out of the box and play it and have a great guitar. You wouldn't have to do anything to it. This is set up to Fender, pretty close, right on to Fender specs. I don't see any issues with the finish. From a quick inspection, the nut looks good. Let's see how it's cut. He's doing a really good job cutting these nuts now. I mean, I can tell just from that, this nut is really close. You could shave it down a little bit if you wanted to, but I wouldn't. I mean, it's gonna wear down over time anyway. You don't want to start at the absolute lowest you can get it. Although this is pretty low. This is not high. This is very comfortable. Yeah, so they're doing a good job with that. Back of the neck looks good. It feels great too. This satin finish they're putting on these really feels great. And it looks great too with the gloss on the fingerboard. I really like that. So, and everything looks straight. So yeah, it's great. I'll say the same thing I said about the Strat. I don't think you'd find a better Tele for $519 plus tax. So, yeah, thanks.